Welcome to What's What, the internet game show full of nerdy impersonations, interpretations, and thoughtful deliberations. Starring your puzzle master, clue giver, and your personal impersonator, it's Mark Bayne.
You've heard of Shark Week. Get ready for Mark Week.
Joining us, she likes D&D. The third D is for dogs. It's Beth.
Hello!
If he's here, it's not an emergency. It's Joe.
Heyo.
I'm your host, Eric Bayne. Can you see my screen?
Don't say it.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
We're going to play 3 games today. We'll take time between each game to check in on the score and, more importantly, check in on our guests. For now, let's play our first game. Our first game is called Even or Odd.
In today's multimedia franchise of a world, not a single movie has been an original idea.
That's right. In Even or Odd, we'll provide the title of a movie from a popular franchise. Your job is to identify as a numbered installment of that franchise if it is an even numbered installment or an odd numbered installment. This is based on release order, not canonical chronology. Each question is worth 1 point. We're going to ask our contestants to write down their answers, reveal them at the same time. Both contestants can earn points. For a bonus point, you can write down the number of the installment as well. Your first clue.
Batman Forever, directed by Joel Schumacher.
Beth is making confidence face.
I'm right.
Even or odd.
It's the third movie and odd.
Beth, that's to you.
I can't even begin to know a number, so I also will say just odd.
And would you like to guess a number?
5.
It is odd, and it is the third installment. That is 2 points for Joe and 1 point for Beth.
Joe and I have matching glassware from 1995.
Well, it's at my parents' house, but I mean,
Oh,
One
that's
day
my
I'll
fine
be-
china.
one
My
day
fine
it'll be
china's got
mine.
Batman, Robin, Two-Face, Riddler, all the mugs, and McDonald's mugs.
well, and then I had like a weird Mandela effect where I swore to God that there was a Mr. Freeze option, which was not part of that movie. And then I was like, well, they must have made the cups again, and they didn't. So just in my mind, I had a Mr. Freeze one that never existed.
I found the
It was
Arwen
the
mug from
Two-Face
Helen
one.
Smith. Does that count? Yeah.
I just can't believe that Batman had his own credit card in that one, right? That's the one
That
with the
That's
Bat
the
card.
fourth one. That's
Fourth one.
That's not that one?
Yeah, Val Kilmer is still Batman in this franchise. I say still, he did too. George Clooney has the Bat credit card in number 4, Batman and Robin. Frankly, the title should have been switched. It doesn't make sense.
Well, yeah. I mean, so first of all, hold on. Excuse me. Pushes up glasses. Val Kilmer did 1.
My bad.
Michael, yeah.
Michael Keaton did
2. But yeah, still good nonetheless. Yeah, that credit card in 4. Good stuff. Your next clue.
Friday the 13th, the final chapter. I'm not a horror buff, if you will.
Okay. I have an answer.
I would guess.
All right, we'll start with Beth on this one.
Yeah, Beth, will start with you. Even or odd.
I'm saying odd, and I'm saying it's the 13th one, because that would be funny.
That would. Joe, we're going to go to
I'm
you.
saying odd, and I believe it's the 9th one because I just know Jason X came after a long period of time, and X is 10.
That is excellent logic from both of you. However, this is a horror movie, therefore that logic is flawed. This is even number 4.
I love being wrong with that because I was like, oh, that makes sense.
It wouldn't.
Yeah.
The X was clearly for space and the late 90s. The early 2000s. I think it came
Early
out
2000s. That movie is a masterpiece, and I will fight anyone who disagrees.
Your next clue.
Iron Man 2, specifically as a Marvel Cinematic Universe entry, or the Infinity Saga, if you will.
We are discounting the fact that recent Sony and Fox films are being retconned into the MCU.
Oh,
Well, that's a really good
I'm
point.
a Marvel person.
Joe, we'll start with you, even or odd.
Oh my! I second guessed myself. I was gonna say odd 3, but I can't remember when Captain America came out. So even 4, because
And
it was
Beth,
Thor and Captain America.
they're nearby.
I
Beth,
also
what did you
said
say?
even 4, but I did. That's a guess. I got nothing.
Was it 3?
No,
I
just
should have
your
gone with my
gut.
gut answer. Because it was just
Odd
4,
number
right?
3.
Iron Man 1, Incredible Hulk with Edward
Oh.
Norton, and then I Want My Bird.
Wow.
I Want My Bird. This guy owns 2 Infinity Gauntlets, by the way.
There's one over there. The big one. Can you see it? It's not lit up, but it's there. It's huge. It's too big.
Oh, she's fancy. That is way fancy.
Yeah, don't drink and go on Sideshow Collectibles.
Your next clue.
Triple X, State of the Union.
Beth, we'll start with you, even or odd.
I said even, and I'm gonna guess number 2.
Love the confidence. Joe, that's you, even
I've
or
never
odd.
seen a single one of these, so I'm just going to say 3 because
It was number 2. That is
Wow.
even. The one
For
with
you.
Ice Cube. That ends our second game. We're going to take some time to check in on our guests.
Beth, you were describing a new gadget or toy that you got recently, and it's actually got a pretty practical use. Can you share? Show and tell?
Absolutely. Okay. So being an adult doesn't mean acting like one. So recently I was told that I had to start taking vitamin D supplements, which makes sense because I don't go outside.
Fair game.
So I went to my local Asian grocery store and got a gachapon machine. I have to like do the it has a little
Vanna White it.
coin.
You're
You have
good.
to push the coin in to turn it and get your daily little meds out.
that's awesome.
It's pure magic.
As a
Hey,
nurse, I
everyone
love
at
that.
home,
I
being
love
healthy
that.
just got a lot funner. Sorry, Joe. What was that?
ECT and then other daily meds have always been in this.
Oh, I've
which is
seen that
also
one.
usable.
You know what? Make it fun. Make it fun. Why not? I'm a nurse, so I love that. I'm going to actually bring that into my patient education. Like, if you have to take medicine, it doesn't have to be boring.
You don't have to get those daily pill containers, man. Like I have so many of my friends that are not, of
Fun.
that age, it feels like, have those daily pill containers. And I'm like, no, I want a cute little gumball machine on my countertop, and then I'll remember to take it because it's fun.
It's time for our next game. But before we get there, let's check in on the score from round 1. Joe is now trailing with 2 points. Beth with a narrow lead at 3.
British or magic.
Don't know are British or magic. I really don't know.
That's right. As a result of his limited and sheltered upbringing, there are several words, phrases, and concepts that Mark learned from Harry Potter that have left him perpetually confused if they are British words, terms, or phrases, or are in fact just magic. Each question is worth 1 point. We're going to ask our contestants to write down their answer and reveal them at the same time. Both contestants can earn points. Your first clue.
Sneakoscope. Sneakoscope.
Can you use it in a sentence, please?
I had to cross the pond, in it, so I used the sneakoscope. Sneakoscope.
Beth, we'll start with you. British or magic?
I am going magic, which you can't see, but there it is, I swear.
Joe, that's to you.
I mean, this sounds like a made-up word, so I'm going British.
I like that logic.
That logic tracks. That is a point for Beth. Sneakoscope is, in fact,
Good for
magic.
you.
Woo!
Just
the
as a
origin of it?
disclaimer, all words are made up.
It's a good point.
Thanks, Lana.
Your next clue.
Whinge. Whinge.
Could you use it in a sentence, please?
I had a dozen crumpets and an old whinge, so I threw them in the bid, didn't I? Didn't I give guff? Whinge.
Joe, on the back of that, we're going to start with you. British or magic?
I'm gonna say British.
And Beth, that's to you.
I am also saying British, but I don't know about that use in a sentence part. Now
Yeah, we don't know what these words mean either.
I don't know, but I pronounce.
I've heard that one. That's why I was confused. I was like, I know that word, but that's not how you use it.
All right. Your next clue.
Knackered. Knackered.
Could you use it in a sentence, please?
I visited the colonies on holiday and I got absolutely knackered, I did. Knackered.
Joe, we'll start with you. British or magic?
That's British.
Beth, that's to you.
It is definitely British. I know that one.
That's correct. Knackered is in fact British. Your next clue.
Codswallop. Codswallop.
Can you use it in a sentence, please?
I used to be a chimney sweep, I was, and then I found a bunch of codswallop.
That can't be right.
Codswallop.
Beth, we'll start with you. British or magic?
I'm going to say magic.
Joe, that's to you.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like British nonsense, but I think there's also magic.
That is no points for our contestants. Codswallop is British.
It is British nonsense.
It means
Kind of
nothing.
a turn of phrase when you go, oh, darn, oh, shoot, oh, that's codswallop. I think Hagrid says it, and that's why I was confused.
Well, I keep making like eye contact with Ray Fiennes as Voldemort, and I'm just like, ooh, everything just seems Harry Potter-ish with his animal magnetism looking straight into me.
Something about that lack of nose. It just draws you in.
Yeah, lack of nose and eyebrow just, really throws me off. Or turns me on. I haven't decided yet. It's Ray Fiennes.
Your next clue.
Remembrall. Remembrall.
Can you use it in a sentence, please?
I went to the football. Excuse me. I went to the football pitch, I did, and then I forgot something, so I looked at my Remembrall.
Close enough. Beth, we'll start with you. British or magic?
Magic.
Joe, that's to you.
Neville's got to remember. That is a staple line in Harry Potter. That is magic. And also, fun story about that. I had a friend go to Harry Potter World and brought me back a Remembrall. And it didn't work. So what was the point of giving me that? It was broken.
Remembrall does sound like an American pharmacy commercial. Please ask your doctor if you are certified to take Remembrall.
May cause diarrhea or cure your depression.
Or someone's southern aunt, possibly. Old Auntie Remembrall. She lived down in Tennessee for 22 years.
Oh, Miss Remembrall, she made one hell of a shoe fly pie.
I think it's worth pointing out that your Remembrall didn't work because it's magic and that doesn't exist. Let's check in on our guests.
You were just telling a great story about how you've been to North Carolina. I hear you have a book coming out. You're going on a tour of some sort. Is that right?
Well, honestly, that was all a lie.
No.
It was to make up for the fact that one of the most exciting things I've done this week is beat Resident Evil 4 Remake on professional mode, in which I'm very proud of because that was quite the challenge. And before that, I just did a big camping trip to Catoctin. I found out last year that I liked camping, and now that I'm in my 30s, I can use that in place of a personality. So it's been wonderful.
That's okay. I'm in my 30s. I use my beard as a replacement for a personality, but you've been kind enough to point that out to me as well. So
yes. And then I did show if you want another little fun factoid about me, I'm a gigantic nerd, and I have under glass because I have a cat. Just a ton of video game and movie memorabilia and my childhood GameCube. I don't know if you can see it because I can only see the back of my iPad, but that's my childhood GameCube.
We can see it very well.
With the Game Boy player in it, and then an actual 1980s Nintendo Rob, which fun story, that thing saved Nintendo.
That's amazing. I have my
Useless
game
product,
hooked
but
up.
saved Nintendo because toy stores would stock it after the video game trash. And I think it's really cool.
Checking in on the score after round 2, Joe still trailing with 5 points. Beth with a narrow lead at 7. Can you see my screen?
Oh, I can't wait till he's done saying that.
Yeah. Hey, look, it's your screen.
Our next game is called I've Heard It Both Ways.
Oh my.
Inspired by a very unsuccessful YouTube series, we are going to read a series of statements to you. One is true, one is a lie, and one is a half-truth. Maybe it used to be considered true, maybe the Mythbusters busted it, maybe it's a common misconception, and you get to tell us what's what. After, of course, the famous liar reads all of them to you.
We should have called this game What's What.
Oh, shoot!
That's right, Mark. And I've heard it both ways. Contestants will be presented with 3 statements. One is true, one is definitely a lie, and one is either a common myth or used to be considered true but is no longer. We're calling that a half-truth. Your job is to correctly decide and identify which statement is a truth, which statement is a lie, and which statement is a half-truth. Mark will read all 3 statements to you in the voice of a liar of your choice. Once he is done, contestants will write down their answers and share them at the same time. Each correctly identified statement is worth 1 point, meaning both contestants can earn up to 3 points per question. Are you ready to play? Would you like to hear the first round of clues in the voice of a Southern lawyer, straight-faced deadpan, former President Clinton or former President Nixon?
I'm going to have to go with Nixon, but I just want to hear someone do that, honestly. Probably won't help me, but I got to hear it.
Don't worry, we're fully prepared for this. Your first clue.
The calligrapher who invented the treble clef also penned the iconic letter D of Disney before his death in 1997. A penny dropped from the top of the Empire State Building could kill someone. Dunce caps used to be used as signs of intelligence. I am not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
Beth will
A penny saved is a penny earned.
still going. Beth, we'll start with you. What we're looking for is all 3 words in succession. Do you think this is a truth, half-truth, and lie? Half-truth, truth, and lie, lie, half-truth, and truth. Go ahead and let us know what order you think these statements are in.
I think it is in order of lie, half, and then truth.
Joe, that's to you.
I am going to say half-truth, lie, and truth.
That is 3 points for Beth and 1 point for Joe. That is, in fact, a lie, half-truth, and truth. 13th century philosopher John Duns Scotus believed that a pointed tap would help spread knowledge from the tip to the brain.
Can
So
I
I thought
share
the terminal velocity of a penny couldn't kill someone.
It cannot. It is a half-truth. It is a common misconception.
And the thing about the calligrapher came from the twisted minds of the Bayne brothers.
Well, if it can, how is it not a lie?
It's a common misconception or myth.
Oh, that's the half-truth. Okay, I didn't understand.
Disney
That's all right.
died.
That's on me.
Disney
So-
died long before 1997.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. So you have Disney and you did this as Nixon, and I have to share Disney knowledge because I'm a nerd when it comes to Disney knowledge. So did you know the I am not a crook speech actually took place at Disney World in one of their hotels?
Yeah, we planned
Nope.
that this way. We totally do.
Love that.
Everyone knows that.
Oh, I want the Southern lawyer. 100%.
All right. I'll do the Clay.
Your first clue.
Well, HDMI is a random combination of letters. Adolf Hitler was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. Napoleon Bonaparte was extremely short. I think I turned into a glass onion there for a moment.
It got, yeah.
More over here, less down here.
Beth, we'll start with you. What
Ladies
order do you
first.
think these statements are in?
I think they're in a truth, half, then lie.
Joe, that's to you.
I was gonna say mine was flipped. I said lie, half truth, and true. But
That is just 1 point to Joe. That is a lie, truth, and half truth. The Swedish politician who sent the letter of nomination in 1939 nominating Hitler meant it ironically and withdrew his nomination. Napoleon Bonaparte was likely an average height, just over 5 feet and 5 inches. Historians suppose that the myth that he was uncommonly small is derived from a series of caricatures from the British cartoonist James Gilray. Would you like to hear the last round of clues is straight-faced deadpan or former President Clinton?
Oh my God. Asking me to choose between my children here. I'm gonna go with, because I've never heard his impression of this, I'm gonna go with the Clinton.
Yeah, I know it's a real Sophie's choice for you.
It was.
Your first clue.
Albert Einstein failed math class. Lobsters taste with their feet. Sun Tzu's Art of War was banned after an unfortunate dodgeball incident in Dalton, Alabama.
Thank you so much, sir, and we appreciate your service. Joe, we'll start with you. What order do you think those statements are in?
I'm gonna say half truth, lie, and truth.
Beth, that's to you.
That is exactly what I wrote. I can show you. I swear. So half lie, truth.
That is 1 point for each. The correct series of answers is half truth, truth, and lie. Tiny bristles inside a lobster's pincers are the equivalent to human taste buds.
I have the same birthday as the creator of Star Trek and the writer of What's What.
According to an article in Time magazine, the rumor supposing that Albert Einstein failed math was largely spread by Ripley's Believe It or Not. Einstein himself disputed the article, claiming he was at the top of his class.
Yeah, I don't think you screw up early on and then end up helping create fission. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just a phase. I'm good at math now.
That is the end of our show. Our runner-up, Joe, with 8 points, and our grand winner of the day, Beth, with 11. Thank you both so much for playing.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yes.
This was fun.
Delightful.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for another exciting episode of What's What.